Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and I wanted to make this live real quick and talk to you guys about really asking your guides, your higher self, and source just for assistance. We're here to be guided, we're here to be reflected, everything that we want to see, everything that we want to learn in this existence, but also everything we want reflected back to us, but mirroring that back into existence. So we're always here to ask the divine for assistance. We're here to ask them to assist us, to give us a higher mantle of knowledge, to give us more of a bandwidth of creation, to allow us to be a living, breathing vortex of creation. When we allow ourselves to really ask, believe, and receive, but it's not about just asking, but it's asking the right questions, it's asking the things out of yourself that you want to see, but believing in the very fact that you already know it in your heart and receive it in your heart, and you already have the alignment and the connection to your guides and your higher self and source, that you are ultimately receiving everything that you want to reflect and see and learn from this existence. So asking the divine for assistance is one of the things that allows us to really see what we can really ask for our wants, for our desires, for our life to be more in fulfillment and more in alignment with what we want to generate within this creation. So every time that we're asking our guides for assistance, we're just asking them to help us. We're just asking them to give us a leg up. We're also just asking for guidance, asking for healing, asking the right questions so that we can finally seek with the most alignment out of ourselves. So we're here to seek upon this creation. And we allow ourselves to seek because we're more connected to our guides, so we start to reflect the energy of our guides. We start to reflect the essence of our guides and the experience in the activation of the healing that we get from our guides, from our higher self, from Source. So we just have to ask the right questions. And sometimes we just have to ask a little bit more out of ourselves. And it's just the assistance, it's just the guidance, and it just allows us to become a guide ourselves. So the higher self and our guides are just reflecting to us and letting us know that we're here to become like them. So we become a guide, we become a teacher on this path, but we also become a mirror, and we're mirroring back everything that we want to experience, everything that we want to manifest in this creation, but also everything that we want to transcend and heal. So we're here to transcend the human conditioning. So we allow ourselves to channel the energy and the embodiment in the source of that light stream within our guides, the light codes, the DNA, the frequencies that we're channeling from our guides and bringing it into this existence. So we allow ourselves to channel our higher selves because we're channeling the embodiment of light and dark. We're channeling the embodiment of the energy and the wisdom of our guides, but we're emulating the mirrorization of Source in this moment. So reflecting that within our guides and our higher self, we're reflecting Source more into our life and into our existence. So we're manifesting an existence that we're maybe not used to. And sometimes it kind of allows us to develop these new thoughts, these new emotions, but also a new way of living and really tapping into alchemy. So you allow yourself to see that when you ask the divine for assistance, you're really just asking them for the guidance, for the wisdom, and also asking to transmute the other energies. So we're balancing the scales finally, we're balancing our energies with everything that we're channeling into this existence. Some of you really believe in channeling your guides. A lot of your guides channel through you. And a lot of us are channeling our higher selves and coming back into balance with their true state of being, our true state of unity, and a balancing of the densities of consciousness. So when you allow yourself to really ask for assistance, you're asking for your guides to just let you know and remind you that you are a guide yourself. So when you do this, you allow yourself to transcend the human condition. Don't be afraid to ask for the most out of your existence. Don't be afraid to ask for the things that you want, the things that you crave, the things that give you that utmost desire. And sometimes it's just asking the universe, can you really surprise me today with the utmost blessings for my upliftment? And just think about how you can become that mirror of everything that you want in this existence. How can you be the mirror and look into the eyes of Source in this moment? How can you become a guide today in asking the assistance and the resonance and the love of your guides, your higher self, and Source completely in alignment in the most fulfillment of what you want to bring within this awareness? So sometimes it's not about talking to your guides, but it's trusting your guides. And it's not just about asking God for things, but it's having the conviction in your faith and knowing that God is moving on your behalf, that Source is moving on your behalf. And Source is recalibrating all of the energies, resetting the karmic imbalances, and also initiating different experiences and simulations. But we have to embrace our higher self, our guides, and God to really align with the energies that are more in alignment and more in sync with who we really are. So asking the divine is a simple question. It's sometimes a simple step. It's sometimes acting on something that you've been putting off for a very long time. And sometimes your guides are kind of watching you to see what you do. But also your guides want you to help you make your own decisions, to perceive for yourself, to think for yourself, and to have the realization that you are just more than a human body, but you're a mind, body, spirit complex. So when we embrace our higher self, our guides, and God, we're embracing the mind and the body and the spirit fully. So that now we're having perception. Now we have belief systems that correlate with what we want to do, but we also have balanced our energies and integrated our energies so that we can always be in the healing reception of delving more into ourselves and having more self-realization. And then we have this sense of exploring ourselves as a realm, as consciousness, as energy. So a lot of us don't see that the gateways are not outside of ourselves. A lot of them are. But sometimes the gateway is inside of yourself. Sometimes the gateway is really looking internally and then allowing the external reality to change for you. So sometimes it's kind of like, sometimes when I'm in times of stress, times of doubt, times of challenge, sometimes I just really ask God, can you help me out with this? I need my guides to move on my behalf. I call in psychic protection when I do all of my lives. And because I do that and my guides protect me and they show me the way, they demonstrate the wisdom, they give me grace whenever I need it, and they also just give me a nudge in the right direction so I'm not falling off track and going in another direction. So it's kind of like your guides are like your soul family, your soul origination. You knew these guides in past lifetimes, in different existences, in different timelines, but also you knew them and they know you. So we've all been connected to these guides in some way, shape, or form. And our higher self allows us to experience the people, the relationships, the experiences when we incarnated here, having that veil of amnesia, so that we were able to integrate all of the information. So when we come to enlightenment, when we awaken on the path, that we allow ourselves to have a humble embrace and a balancing of the ego and the filter, and channeling the energies of our guides, our higher self, and God. So it's kind of understanding that all of us are doing that in this moment. We're all becoming a spiritual guide, but we're becoming more conscious of our perceptions, of our illusions that we attract to ourselves, but also kind of the obedience when like spirit tells you not to do something or go to the store, or you hear God clearly and it's like talk to that person and give them a word, a prophetic word. So sometimes it's just following the obedience of your guides, of your higher self and God, that allows you to kind of be regulated and not falling off the path so much that it just kind of reinforces the very fact that you don't have to be a certain way to be connected to your guides. Your guides are connected to you, but they want you to have the realization that you are connected to them. So sometimes our guides, and I remember my higher self for a very long time, used to kind of stand above me and be like, what are you doing, man? So sometimes we have to be ready to imbibe our guides and our higher self, but our guides have always known us ever since we were little. So your spirit guides have always known you, they always loved you, and they have always carried you through all of the stages of your life, meaning that they didn't leave you astray. And some of the reasons why we're still here on this earth and existing is because our guides have always protected us. So it's kind of like, I remember even when I would do stuff, as a young kid or as a young adult, like going out and, having fun and stuff, I always knew that I would go home, that nothing bad would happen to me. So I always had the safety and the security that nothing would harm me in life. And having that safety and security is having the divine in your life to kind of orchestrate your steps, but also to let you know, like, you're on the path, you're doing fine, but just stay the course. So, and sometimes our guides will have us have reflections in situations in relationships so that we understand and get the point of why we're supposed to be here. So a lot of the times our higher self and our guides want us to have these situations. They want us to have these experiences. They want us to understand and demonstrate that wisdom. And they want us to be a mirror, and they don't want us to go by a filter that is either coming from a state of ego or a state of having a lack of truth, having a lack of depth within yourself. They want you to be very crystal clear so that you can penetrate and puncture that artery of creation that allows you to pinpoint exactly what you need to do and where the information comes, and also where the reflection and the catalyst stem from in your existences. So enlightenment comes in so many different forms, and asking the divine to be connected to us is a great way and a great vantage point, so that it gives us a sense of having a mantle, of having a sense of a repetition and a ritual that allows us to stay grounded and centered with what we're doing. So our guides are here to keep us balanced, to keep us centered, to keep us, not going so far off the deep end. So it keeps us committed and it keeps us on our toes so that we're able to carry the weight in the sacred flame of that future of enlightenment. So many of you have really just come into this understanding of just asking your guides for healing and assistance and understanding. So sometimes, like one of my guides, Jesus, I've asked Jesus so much for healing. I remember I felt like I couldn't get out of this emotional state, this debilitating state, and I was just like, oh my Christ, I want to get out of this debilitating state. So I just asked Jesus for healing, and he came through very strongly. And, I'm not a Christian myself. I'm not, I used to be a Christian, but I'm a psychic. But I still asked Jesus for assistance and healing and grace. And he came through and he activated stuff within me. And he is one of my guides, and the Apostle Paul has always come into my healings, because when I do my healings, my guides assist me with that. So it's not just myself channeling the energy, that's a part of it. And that's a part of what Spirit wants you to do within your life, is to channel your own resonance and your own truth and your own embodiment of energy. But also at the same time, they still assist you, whether you know it or not. Like when you're giving readings, a lot of the times your guides or someone else's guides or even their higher self is also helping you with the information. So when we're giving psychic readings and things of that nature, our guides do so much that we have no clue about. You can write to your guides, you can talk to your guides, you can just ask your guides for assistance. And I was feeling like Spirit wanted me to really talk about this topic, because I feel like a lot of you, I have so many people ask me to connect them to their guides, or their guides are wanting to speak to them, or they just want the recognition, the activation of connecting to their guides once again. But it's not the very fact that we're not connected to our guides. We just don't have the recognition or the awareness that we are connected to them, and they do know us. And sometimes when you finally get the sense that they're there, the sense and the understanding that your guides are always with you, sometimes they'll give you like a round of applause. Sometimes when you finally get it, when you finally understand it. I was watching this movie one time, and I'm going to do the healing energy after I say this last thing, is this movie Frequency with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. And Dennis Quaid is talking to his younger self, past, future, present, already happening, right? So he's talking to his younger self to prevent something. And I was like, it kind of dawned on me the realization of that we are simultaneous, that we are omnipresent, and we are everywhere all at once happening and coalescing inside of energy. So watching that movie, and I remember the Intergalactic Council saw me watch that movie, and they gave me a round of applause because I finally got it. And this was in the beginning stages of my awakening. So it's very beautiful that Source works in mysterious ways, and Source reflects to you in many different ways so that you can understand it, and gives you many different examples and variables and circumstances and experiences and people, places, and things to kind of gives you that sense of realization, to let you know that they're just kind of giving you kind of like a bell. They're just kind of giving you subtle reminders. And it's really interesting how God and Source works that way. So this is White Wolf. This is Spirituality Channel, Meditation Channel. We're going to do some healing energy. Obviously, I know you guys have seen me wear this shirt. It's the Hide and Seek Champion. My Sasquatch guides are going to come through. Some dragon guides are going to come through. I have a video on my TikTok that you can watch. And Jesus and the Apostle Paul are going to come through. We're going to really focus on our guides doing this energy work. And we're going to do some healing energy. So if you want to take part in this healing energy, feel free to do so. I do these lives every day. And guys, also, I'm going to be going live around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, doing psychic readings and healings. And also, you guys can book private sessions as well. I do have a private session special. It's $122 for an hour. So thank you guys, and thank you for receiving this message. We're going to connect to the Black Panther energy, help us release energy, blending it with the Kundalini energy. Have quick release, but rejuvenation. The Golden Christ Dragon is going to help us with our health and our vitality. It's going to help us set up healthy affirmations, attracting experiences to ourselves that are of a good nature, and breaking down patterns and dimensional ley lines that are old and redundant. Sasquatch is going to activate the third eye as well, activating your telepathy, your clairvoyancy, your clairaudience, and clairsentience, and remote viewing for some of you. And Jesus is coming in and putting the billion layer protection grid over ourselves and giving us a lot of healing energy, activating God code, and the energies of the 12th dimension. Jesus is going to be activating all of our chakras and our galactic chakras. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Saint Elphin, Raphael, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, the Intergalactic Council, Galactic Federation of Light, Ashgar Command. is helping us activate frequency codes and downloads from different realms, different planes, different universes, connecting fully to our monad, the I Am Presence. If you've never connected to your Cashapp records, the Apostle Paul is going to activate your Akashic records, help you be more connected to your guides, and also helping us clear the ears so that we can have more ringing in our ears, so that we can hear Spirit's voice clearly, and activating the Akashic record so that you can see your past lifetimes. We're going to tap into the elementals, Earth and Water Dragon, Earth and Fire Dragon, resetting the karmic imbalances. Kuan-Yin's Pink Dragon is coming in, helping us with that. And if you've never said light language before, light language is coming through this healing. Some of you will speak light language, and some of you will interpret it. So all of you are learning the language of light, realizing your spiritual origination, connecting to your soul tree, connecting to your soul tribes, and connecting to the fountain of youth. We're also activating Enochian codes from the Enochian angels and the Anunnaki, tapping into your cosmic codex. We are here to be the sacred flame of creation, to shine a light in the darkness, to be the light at the end of the tunnel, and always shining when it seems like the most hardest thing to do is to shine, is to be bold, is to be courageous, and to lead with your heart and to lead with love. Lead with the existence that you want to become. Be that mirror for others. And be of service like you never have before. Embracing that love and that light of the oracle. And lastly, we're going to embrace the inner child and the masculine and feminine energies. So fully activating the higher self and embracing the mind and the body and the soul, and having healthy obedience, having a filter that is led with truth, and having that health and that vitality, and emulating the Spirit, walking the Spirit, demonstrating the Spirit wherever you go, and aligning with that embodiment. So to finish this healing transmission, this violet flame is going to come through all the way to the feet and all the way to the top of your head, grounding deep within Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Take a deep breath. You are the oracle of love, light, and wisdom, and so it is. So, that was the healing energy for this live. I hope everyone really enjoyed it. I'm going to be cooking dinner soon. But I want to really thank you guys, and I want to give a shout out to all the people who've been receiving over the past 3 months, clients, some of the most interesting reads. And also I want to give a shout out to almost having 6,000 people who follow this channel. It's been an amazing ride. I stuck with it, I kept doing my videos, and it's always a pleasure to just do these videos, and it's always an honor to serve you guys. And one of the things, don't be afraid to ask God for assistance. Don't be afraid to ask your guides for assistance. Don't be afraid to ask the divine to guide you, to nurture you, to help you through your challenges. Life doesn't have to be rough or difficult or suffering, but you can literally be the ease in your life. Don't have dis-ease within your life. Have ease, grace, and wisdom. That Shagana glory can shine through all of us if we choose to accept it, if we choose to resonate and emanate in that. And just ask your guides for assistance. Ask them for help. Don't be afraid to ask them for help. It's not a bad thing to ask for help. It's kind of like, I feel like a lot of people with their guides or their higher self, they feel like that kid that's afraid to raise their hand. So don't be the kid that's afraid to raise their hand. You know, raise your hand, ask your guides for assistance. Ask them to help you manifest your dreams. This will allow you to have a healthy obedience and listen to spirit and listening to the divine solely. It helps out a lot. I ask my guides to wake me up in the morning, and they do it. But sometimes, I fall back asleep, and I can't help that, But, I ask the divine for assistance all the time. If I feel like I'm in a difficult spot, or if I feel like something's challenging and I need wisdom and I need some clarity on that, I just ask the divine to help me with it. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with being curious and being a really aligned seeker. That's the thing about asking the divine for assistance, is that they know that you're being more aligned in your seeking impulse, in your drive, and how much you want to experience and expand upon the present moment. They want you to expand upon the present moment. They want you to know yourselves more clearly, more vividly, more in alignment with what you want to do. So just don't be afraid anymore. Live in the divine. I don't care who's watching. I don't care if you get ridiculed online. I don't care if your family disowns you. Know that the divine and your guides are your family at heart, and they always have your best interests above anything else. Spirit never leads us astray. Spirit never leads us astray. And that's one of the messages that I've really resounded in my heart. It's a message I heard for myself a long time ago, that if you walk in the Spirit, emulate the Spirit, walk into the light and the truth of the Spirit, it will never lead you astray. So thank you guys. I'm going to be going live also around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern time zone doing readings, healings, activations. And also guys, you guys can book private sessions. I have a private session special. It's $122 for an hour, 2 hours, $220. So thank you guys so much for this live. I really, really appreciate all of you. And it's an honor and a pleasure always to connect with you guys, to do these lives. I do 2 lives almost every day. And it's just always a pleasure and an honor. And also connect with me on YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, Facebook, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, White Wolf 4741. If you want to check out some lives you've never seen before. But also if you're just trying to book a private session, text me on my TikTok and email me. So thank you guys. God bless. Namaste. It's always a pleasure. And love you guys. See you.